Elizabeth Lasko with the National Association for Music Education, and I'm delighted to be sitting here with Carly Rae Jepsen, who's performing tonight at Wolf Trap, the National Park for the Performing Arts, which is right down the road from our headquarters in Reston, Virginia. And Ms. Jepsen, I'd like to ask you, first of all, how did music affect your life growing up?
Music was a huge part of my childhood. I grew up in a very musical family, the type that at Christmas it would end with like a big jam session where everyone would grab an instrument and we'd play a song together. And my father actually would play me 3 songs before bedtime. He'd play guitar and he'd let me sing along, and I'd pick James Taylor songs, Van Morrison songs, anything that my family had shown me. And I felt really lucky too to have a community that was very heavy into music. We had musical theater programs going on, the Mission Folk Festival, which was a huge part of my summer, and on top of that, some of the most incredible teachers I've ever met.
Did you have a particular music teacher or theater teacher that helped you along the way?
I had 2 music teachers who were incredible, Beverly Holmes and David Fryer. David Fryer was our jazz vocal coach. He was also heavy into musical theater. And Beverly Holmes was the same thing, really into directing plays and teaching us a lot about acting and just the stage.
Would you say that music is good for kids? Do you think that it's something they should have access to in school?
Oh, absolutely. For someone like me, being very creative and artistic and wanting to find a way to express myself, it was sort of my my one favorite course. I mean, I had parents who were teachers, so I was definitely doing all the other things as well, but that was my one outlet to kind of really be me and find what it was that I loved about school.
Did you find that you moved naturally into songwriting? That was kind of your thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wrote like a protest song when I was 9 years old. I don't know where that happened from. They were cutting down trees in our neighborhood, and I wrote this protest song. It's called Cutting Down the Big Trees, and it was very silly. But as I actually got a guitar at age 17, that's when I got really serious about it. And it came pretty naturally to me. My dad showed me a couple chords, and it was just like the Elvis Presley, like top 5. And like you could sing any song that you wanted and do any Beatles song that you wanted. And I felt kind of like someone had given me the gift of this whole new language. And I think it's the biggest gift I've ever received.
That's wonderful to hear, because one of the things that we talk about with music education is that in addition to being the art form that it is, and you know, one of the greatest gifts that there is that for anybody to experience, it's so good for kids to have in school because it allows them an outlet for creativity.
Yeah.
Whether they're learning to play an instrument or whether they're learning to write music, which is a skill and a talent of its own. But you can also learn to do it, and you can, you know, improve as you learn more.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of evidence that these kinds of skills that kids learn in music help them succeed later in life.
I can totally see that. Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the teachers, the music teachers of America who are out there in the schools trying to instill this love of music into children?
I would just, I guess, mainly say that the effect that you can have on these kids' life is huge. My drama teacher, not only while I was in school, but after school when I was graduated, was the one to drive me to my first Canadian Idol audition. She was the one to encourage me to go to the Canadian College of Performing Arts, which was the college that I attended. And every piece of guidance that she gave me affected my life to the point that I can say honestly that I wouldn't be where I am today without her help. And same goes for David Fryer. He taught me so much about the musicianship side of things and how important it is to even have a business head. And I feel like as much as my parents were a huge element in me kind of going after my goals, these 2 teachers were just as critical. So if you can remember that you have a huge chance to change someone's life, then I hope that you use it and that you do.